What's up, dude? My stream went down again. So I just, you know what I wound up doing? It was so quick in Vesta. It was so quick into the stream that what I did is I took the 10-minute clip or the 8-minute clip that I already had up, that I had begun, and made it private and started it back up. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to start it over. I'm smitten for a kitten. So warm I don't need mittens. Which is just in time, because it's getting chilly, huh? I don't know who lives up north, but I do, and it's chilly. Hey, Brianna, Luana. Clear cache, right? Yeah, I've been there. Done the whole thing. Unplugged the battery, cleared the cache. The whole shebang. Did a bunch of stuff here. Did a bunch of stuff in memory. I know. Actually, what it is it's just inferior hardware. It's an older router, and that's the problem. Ultimately, that's the problem. And you're correct as well in respect to like Go cable. But yeah, it's an old router. So But yeah. So we'll just let the room fill up a little bit. We have time to kind of just chat then. In the meantime, it looked like I had some issues with my microphone that I kind of corrected. So let me know if I'm too loud or too low. It's looking like that my level's a little higher than normal, and so if it's too loud, let me know. Look who's here. I'm glad you're here. There's some things that I wanted to talk about that I'm kind of glad that your opinion is going to matter, so. But yeah. So one of the things that I was just about to begin speaking about, and I don't know when the stream dropped, was masks. And it's one of the things that I put up on as one of the titles, like what are the topics of today's talk, because another word for mask. If we consider our experience, if we pretend the story is true, and we were born at the beginning of time, and how that all unfolds, then if we're just this infinite point of reception, and we've become self-aware, and now we're forced to experience the world through a personality, are we stuck with the one we're given? Because, I guess I'm okay with the fact that I had nothing to do with my physical form. You cope with what you're given. I've kind of worked around being short, or worked around whatever the case may be. And we find the stuff that works for us, and we grow into our body, and we figure ourselves out, right? I guess I'm okay with being assigned my name Michael. The Michael's okay, right? As far as an identity. And what is a name? Some words that we use to call out so that the other that we intend to activate turns around instead of the other billion that are next to it. Right? So that's really the idea, right? We want to make sure that you're the one that we're paying attention to, right? That's the idea. Your name matters. It's an act of love. I'm looking at you, not you, not you, not you, not you. Right? I want you to hear me. And so Michael isn't a bad word. I've always identified with it. I've had a lot of nicknames. We all have nicknames, right? I know. I'm so sorry, Missy. It's true. It's like awful. And it's frustrating when you're trying to do visual stuff too. But you gotta, I don't know, I worked through it, and I really appreciate everybody's patience in that process. But as the channel develops and as things become available, the hardware will be updated, and hopefully that'll be less frequent. But it turns out that we're not necessarily stuck with the name we're given. The name was chosen and agreed upon. That's what that is. And what that essentially means is that it's a conversation. And conversations, when done correctly, don't have an end necessarily. That's different. That's an intent being spoken, right? We're not talking about that. A conversation doesn't have an intent. The intent of the conversation is to converse. So that said, we have the ability to decide that. It's not a fixed thing, right? It's not. There's certain parts of us that are fixed. I kind of don't have a choice genetically with respect to my hair color. I can dye it and change it, and I have that capacity. I can shape it with tools and intent and creative, connection with the barber and so on. I love the person I see. She's wonderful. I've seen her for years, and she knows exactly what to do. She's my Wonder Woman. She'll never see this, so I can be, she's an amazing person. She's just kind of great. Every time I sit down, there's another, what do I do about my boyfriend? It's kind of cool. And she's dating a younger guy, and so that's her problem. She's a mature woman with her act together that is dating a man baby. And he's, very attractive and takes care of her in ways that she likes. And so she, it's like, okay, we can have a good time and go out and enjoy dinner, and we can do things. And there's this energy of his youth and all this. But, fulfillment's important too, and that's what she's missing. And fulfillment comes from knowing who you are and knowing that that you're out there everywhere. That the person that you're actually with is this beautiful being just like you, that has all their flaws just like you. And if you look at them and allow for that in the way that you would like for them to allow for your that, then the expectation disappears. And expectation is the mother of disappointment, right? And now, the personality is one of these things that when we remember, we get to decide, make up, because we're already doing that. Then some opportunity comes up. And so, I love analogy. I love metaphor and simile in these things, because these are tools of the magician, especially when it comes to things like sympathetic magic and other things. And so, there's a very beautiful ritual that and you take ritual that is out there, and then you practice it, and then you make it your own, right? It's similar to any musicians in the room that play piano or anything. Why, thank you. You like the blue? I knew I liked you for a reason. You can learn a song, play the song, and you technically learn it, but then there's a point where you know it enough where you can start throwing in some jazz. You can throw in some nuance and do your own little interpretation. My Moonlight Sonata is in minors, and it's amazing. To me. A lot of people hear it and go, well, that's weird. No, it isn't. Not to me. It's absolutely the way it should be. But that said, though, it's that idea, right? And so we can begin to add a little bit of flair to that. And so there's rituals that we can learn through whatever means. There's various organizations, documentation, resources, different group workings, people we bump into in our lives that, share secrets and stuff. And then we can make it our own. And that's one of the things that I'm going to kind of talk about here. I have my mask here. And I don't know when the stream cut out. It was almost like, it seemed like when I turned around and noticed her, and then I was going to go touch her, the stream went out. And I know that sounds silly, but I'm not touching anything, and you guys know my stream goes out, and you can go back. Right now I set it to private, but I'll show you. As soon as I went to touch it, I looked back around and the stream was dead. So interesting. But this is my mask, right? I've known him for a long time, and I have various iterations of that in various colors, shapes, forms that I've worn throughout the years for various reasons. And now, who's that? And so, when I turned around to point to him and saw her, the first thing that struck me was hello. But the second thing that struck me was a familiarity. Like my first reaction was, wow, you have really pretty eyes. And then I thought to me, wait a minute, I know those eyes. I know them. And then I was going to go grab it. And then I hesitated to grab it. It was a very strange thing. And so it's like, oh, why did I hesitate? Because the hesitation was not me. I was observing me grabbing it. And I was surprised by the hesitation. So that's an important thing to recognize here. I was going to grab this mask, and then my body said no. Okay, so let's just look at that again. I mean, it's just a mask. It's actually, you know, one thing I did notice though is that the color is very similar to the other to mine. Mine is it's white with gold crackling.